Hello, fabulous Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of December 2013, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, your ruling planet, Venus, will begin to go retrograde. Now, I've said before, your ruling planet is your representative in the sky. And so when Venus goes retrograde, it means that a part of you also begins to go within. It only happens once every year and a half or so. So when it happens, it is a special time. It is a noteworthy time when you start to get much more clear within yourself about what really matters to you. Now, what I really like about Venus going backwards in the sky at this particular time is she is very harmoniously placed in the sky for you. And I do think that this is going to be an important time, not only in terms of what you value, but it's not just a personal thing about what you value in terms of money, in terms of things, in terms of possessions, in terms of what you have that could make you money, although all of that is going to matter. But I think it's bigger than that. You are going to be looking at the value you place on your growth, on your personal evolution, on your betterment. How much do you actually prioritize that? How much does it really matter? Practically, how much does it matter? And this really comes down to being willing to learn. How much are you willing to actually go out into the world and explore and learn and consider what it might mean to be more, and how being more isn't always necessarily about earning more money, but it is about becoming more than you were before. Now, these can be very lofty aims, but what I do like about this month is it does seem like you are able to connect how actually undergoing a process of growth, of learning, of evolution can help you in very practical ways. In particular, if you are a person who is looking at higher education, or if you had kind of had it sort of in the ether but hadn't been paying too much attention to it, this is a time when you start to consider it more seriously. I don't think that this is the time necessarily when you want to commit to anything in writing, especially something like a very long-term process. But if you are in the middle of a process, if you are already in school, then this is a time when you may end up really asking yourself very sincere questions about the major of study that you have chosen and why, and what you need to choose a field of study that feels more fulfilling and more right for you. And if you are a person who has thought about actually interacting more or undergoing a greater process, well, now you're going to understand what that actually requires. And still others of you, I think, are going to aim to gain value and power through the legal system. And so if there is any sort of case or anything that you've thought that you need to actually bring to the justice system, this is a time when you're going to figure out how to actually do that. But these are all very literal manifestations of this energy. There is always a more personal manifestation and an ethereal manifestation, if you will. And it tends to have to do with what it is for you that you feel you need to find justice with balance with, where it is that you need to balance the scales in your own life, where it is that you need to undergo a process to find wisdom and to find knowledge, and to find a sense of self in the process as well. Where it is that you can actually bridge emotion and intellect right in your heart, so that those things that you know reach your heart, and the things that you feel find words. They find the vocabulary they need to be expressed. Now, this is the beginning of a very important process that is going to be with you as you enter the next year. And I do think that, especially when I look at the events taking place as we move further and further into the month, I do think that you are going to be taking this whole process very seriously. And it's very likely to be triggered by some sort of moment of interaction or some sort of possibility for advancement that occurs early on in the month. And so you do want to watch that, because I do think where it comes to matters of career, where it comes to matters of interacting with people in authority, I do think that it's going to be those experiences. Now, they could go either way, but it does look like however it ends up going, if you're up for a promotion, if you're up for advancement, if you're up for an interview, regardless of how it actually ends up going, it does look like you end up on top. And so I want you to try not so much to focus on the details of the thing, but instead to ride the wave of opportunity when it finds you for the experience, because it is that moment that's meant to trigger a more meaningful process for you. And is that process that's going to help you in every area of your life, and is going to help the big picture of your life to move towards greater prosperity and success. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.